Okay, we're here with the last part of lesson 2 of module 2. Okay, now this is another format. So a lot of times students get thrown off by the format of the multiplication. Now on this format, they're asking you to estimate, same thing as we did before. But here's the difference. In this one, they are giving us the answer. So we have the answer over here. Or, remember, this is also called the product. Now, the first thing you gotta do is round to find the numbers, the two numbers that will make this equation true. So, we're gonna do the first one. So let's see, we're going to look at our first number, 7,939. So we're gonna round to the nearest thousand. So that's gonna be 7,000 here. And I know that this number is going up, is closer to, this number is between 8,000 and 7,000. Now the midpoint of this one would be right here, 7,500. Now our number right here, 7,939, is very close to this, to 8,000. So 7,939 is very close to 8,000, so we're going to round it to this. So this number, because it's closer to 8, is going to be rounded to 8,000. So we're going to write the 8,000 here. Okay? Now we're going to round the second number, which is 541. So let's use our regular tool. So the number is 541. So we're going to round to the nearest 100. So we know then that the least is 500 and the next 100 up is 600. And in between those two, the midpoint is 550. Now we're going to insert our number. So the number is 541. So 541 is probably somewhere around this vicinity. So now because this number is closer to 500, then we're going to round it to 500. And we're going to write that as the other factor. Now, to check, well, let's see. We already have the answer, like I said. So we're going to do solve the problem below. So it's going to be 8,000 times 500. Now we're going to break down this one. Remember, we can decompose it into 8 times 1, 2, 3 zeros. That means 1,000. And we're going to multiply that times 5. This is the second one right here. 5 times, how many zeros? 2 of them. So that means 100. After you do that, then we can use the commutative property, and we will see that these numbers move around. And so we can make a multiplication with, remember, this can be done in multiplication because when you do that, it does not affect the product, which means the answer. So our first multiplication is going to be 8 times 5. So let's write it here, 8 times 5. Okay. Our second multiplication is going to be 1,000 times 100. So now we're going to write that one down somewhere in here, 1,000 times 100. And that becomes the second part of a multiplication, which will be written here. Okay, if you multiply this, 8 times 5 equals 40 times 1,000 times 100. See, if you don't know what the answer is going to be, just say 1 times 1 equals 1. And then you count the zeros, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now you make your periods, because that will give you the answer. 1, 2, 3, that will be so. 1,000 times 100 equals 100,000. When you multiply 100,000 times 40, okay, now remember, this is very important because this is where many students make mistakes. You're going to multiply 40 times 1, and that equals 40. And we're going to see how many Now remember, the 40 has a 0, so I wrote it there. Now we're going to count how many more zeros do you need on this answer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I should have how many zeros? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Correct. Now we make our periods. And that's going to be 4 millions. So 40 times 100,000 equals 4 million. Now let's see if this is true on the answer that was given to us. Is this 4 million? The answer is yes. So now we know that our answer, we solved the problem and discovered that the answer is correct. And the numbers that we estimated, the factors that we estimated, they're correct as well. My friend, this is another format, my friends. Don't be afraid. Just look at it, think about it, and solve it. Signing out, your coach.